Hey y'all, let's get into it. Today we are making some red beans and rice, some honey butter glazed baked chicken, some collard greens with smoked ham hock and turkey tail, rice, and some jalapeno cheddar cornbread. Baby, it don't get no more soulful than this meal. Now, a lot of times you guys see me make my greens in the Instant Pot, and I love doing it that way. But I'm actually using the Instant Pot for the beans, so I'm going to show you guys how I do my stovetop version. So in a Dutch oven, I am adding my butter, half an onion, some smoked turkey tail, and some ham hock. Of course, you can leave out the pork if you don't mess with the Piggly Wiggly. I'm going to throw in some garlic as well as a tablespoon of low sodium Cajun seasoning, some chicken bouillon, and some pepper and a little bit of sugar. That's going to balance out any bitterness in that greens. And I like to put in just a little swig, okay, of apple cider vinegar. You know, that gives that pot liquor that good flavor. I'm going to let this saute for about 3 minutes just to get a little flavor, get the flavors marrying together. And then I'm going to put in my collard greens. I actually cleaned these and cut these myself. I didn't use the package, but you could. Just make sure you rinse them real well. Now to get this going, I'm going to give you all a tip. Go ahead and put on some boiling water from a kettle. That will go ahead and wilt the greens and it'll press them down. And also your water is going to come up to boil faster because obviously this is already hot. So I'm putting in about 4 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and mix this around. As you can see, the greens are already wilting. And I had this cooking on low for about an hour and a half while I was cooking everything else. When I tasted it, I realized it needed a little bit more Creole seasoning. And then I just picked apart that ham hock. And of course, that turkey tail I took for the snack, okay? Now, while these collard greens have been cooking, of course, I've been preparing everything else. So the next thing you should prepare is the red beans and rice. Now, this is a pound of dried kidney beans. And I'm going to add water to them because I want to see if we get floaters. Okay, typically floaters are lighter than the other beans and they tend to be older. I like to pick those out and, just toss them to the side. I'm also going to take out any of them that have busted skins, or just look a little funky. You don't want that in your beans. Now, I have not soaked these beans. These are dried and I'm just rinsing them. Because I'm using the Instant Pot, I don't need to soak them. I'm going to saute some bacon, but you can also use turkey bacon. Honey, if you are team bacon, go ahead and put a piggy or a turkey in the chat because I just feel like bacon just adds that nice, rich flavor to your food that just gives it that southern twang. You know what I'm saying? Be having you swallowing. Okay, when you eating it, right? So I'm going to cook this until all that fat is rendered. And then I'm going in with my Cajun sausage. Now this got that good andouille flavor with the Cajun spices. But if you can't find Cajun andouille sausage, you can also use any other smoked sausage you can find. I just let these sit for about 3 to 4 minutes until one side gets a nice crust on it. And then I'm going to start mixing it up because you really want that flavor to develop. Then I'm going to take these out, and again, I'm going to leave the grease behind because we want to use that to now season what they call the Holy Trinity. Okay, we're using an onion, a bell pepper, and I'm also going to be using some celery. All right, I'm going to saute that for about 3 minutes before I put in the garlic because I don't want that garlic to burn. I'm going to put on a little bit of Tony's Creole seasoning because y'all know that's basically seasoned salt, okay? And that's going to bring out the moisture in these vegetables and let them saute faster. Now, if you've been enjoying this video so far, go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up and subscribe because y'all can tell we is cooking today, honey. I'm going to go ahead and now put in my garlic. I'm going to saute that with all of my spices. Okay, this is a mix of like pepper, some basil, a little thyme, some smoked paprika. This is essentially what you would end up putting in a salt-free Cajun seasoning, but I have just measured it out for you, okay? I'm going to toss it in the vegetables now in the oil because that helps you bloom the spices and get a good flavor for just about 1 minute. It does taste different than if you were to just say throw the spices in the chicken broth. It gives it a total different depth of flavor. Now I'm going to add everything to the Instant Pot with a ham hock, but you can also use a smoked turkey wing, all right? a bay leaf, my beans, and I'm going to add my water into my skillet, and then I'm going to put that in there because we ain't leaving no flavor behind. Do you feel me? Okay. Look, if you gotta have that full flavor, go ahead and put a heart in the comment section because I got to have mine. All right. Can't be washing mine down the sink. I'm then going to put in some chicken bouillon paste. Now, if you don't have this, you could just use chicken broth, but I just feel like the bouillon paste is just so much more affordable. I'm then going to put on my pressure cooker lid, and I am going to cook this for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then I will let it natural press release for about 20 minutes. Then I will quick release the rest of the way. Now, some of y'all might think that's a long time, but I promise you, if you do not let it cook at least 1 hour and 30 minutes, your beans are going to be hard, okay? Ask me how I know. All right, now you will see that your beans are indeed soft. Okay, now if they are still hard, you can pressure cook them for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to adjust the seasoning with a little bit more bouillon and creole seasoning. I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to put this on saute. I'm literally going to crush some of the beans on the side of the Instant Pot to get that red bean gravy. Honey, if you from NOLA, tell them in the comments what you know about that red bean gravy, okay? I'm then going to pick out the ham hock, and I'm going to take out the skins from the ham hock, and I'm going to allow this to saute until it's the thickness that I like, and right here was good enough for me. Now my chicken wings, these are really going to complement everything else because this is going to have a little sweetness. I have 2 pounds of chicken wings, and I am just seasoning to my taste with some of this chicken seasoning, this lemon garlic seasoning. If you don't have this, you can just use lemon pepper and some garlic powder. I'm going to add some low sodium chicken bouillon, and this one is a really nice one, as well as just a smidge of smoked paprika, mostly for some color, and this poultry magic. I love to add my green seasoning to this as well as fresh garlic because it just gives it a special flavor. And then I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to let this marinate at room temperature for about 15 minutes. Now, you guys know when you're doing these big meals, you're really multitasking. So while the beans are cooking and the greens are going, I'm marinating my chicken, and then I'm going to put it on a baking rack. This rack helps elevate the chicken off of the juices. That way you're going to get a crispier skin even though you're not frying it. I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees for at first 30 minutes. I like to put mine in the middle rack because I don't want it to get too brown too quickly. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to flip them things, okay? Because you want the other side to get a nice color as well. Once they are flipped, I'm going to put them back in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. You just want to watch it. When it has the crispiness that you like, you can just go in with some honey butter and drizzle it on the top of your wings. You could put this back in the oven for a minute or two, but for me, this was good. Y'all, these wings were so good. That little sweetness just complements the spiciness in the rice and the smokiness and everything else. So I just love this. To complement this meal, we about to make some cheddar jalapeno cornbread, okay? I'm using 2 cups of a self-rising cornmeal mix. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, a pinch of salt, and then I'm going to mix this together. I'm using a mixture of vegetable oil and butter. The vegetable oil will actually allow your cornbread to be a little bit more moist than if you were to just use butter alone. Then I'm going to put in some frozen corn, so a little bit of diced onions, and I'm using a mixture of jalapenos and red bell peppers, mostly for the color. 2 eggs and a combination of buttermilk and sour cream. Y'all know sour cream is the king of making a moist cornbread, okay? I'm going to then mix everything together well. Now, this is going to be a very thick batter, especially because you have all these little add-ins in there and the sour cream, but that is okay. I'm going to add in about 6 ounces of cheddar cheese. Look, you can buy it pre-shredded and let somebody do it for you, or you can do it yourself, okay? Today, I let the man do it for me, okay? I mixed it in very gently, and then I am going to do mine today in a buttered 8x8 glass dish. I wanted to show you guys that you can still do this even if you don't have a cast iron skillet. And I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. You will know it's done when you can stick a toothpick in and it comes out clean. Now, of course, we got to go back over this with some extra butter because, baby, that just makes the cornbread super special. Let me know if you're going to be trying this cornbread recipe, honey. Now, of course, to go with everything, you just need some simple white rice. Nothing to it but to do it. Just a little white rice made with some olive oil and plenty of salt, just steamed on the stove for 20 minutes. I hope you guys love this meal and your family loves it and you try it. You know I love you and Jesus loves you. God bless everyone who watches my channel, and goodbye.